All right, I'm going to do an example of an Anachronism Photoshop project. Yours is going to be a little bit different, but I'll try to use a few of the tools that you might be using. So I went to Google Arts and Culture and found this lovely Vermeer painting. And I thought I would put a Squid Game kind of mask on her because she already has this hood. And I thought that that might be kind of fun. So at the end, it'll look like this. But first of all, we start off with just opening up the Vermeer painting. Now you might need to do a screenshot or a save as or just a copy and paste, but you'd start off, actually I'll just kind of go right back up to the beginning. You can see it's just my screenshot here. You might go to File, Open, and screenshots are usually on the desktop, and you would just open that right up into Photoshop. Now you'll do the same and get an image that, whatever kind of anachronism, the contemporary kind of image that you want. So here is the Squid Game photo. So I need to select this mask part and bring it into the painting. So I will do that by using my quick selection tool. It might be hiding under the magic wand there. Quick selection. If you recall, you want to make sure that this is on the add because I want to add the selection. And this one works kind of like the paintbrush. Bracket keys can make it larger or smaller. And I'm just clicking, and I got a little bit too much there, so I'm going to go to my minus, grab a little bit here. If I make my brush size smaller, it will grab a little bit less. All right. All right. Now I've used my quick selection tool to grab the mask. I'm going to simply do a Command C or Edit Copy, tab over here, get rid of this one, that was my fail, and paste it. Okay, I'm going to use my Move Transform tool. Now the mask is looking in the opposite direction, so I need to do a horizontal flip. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Now it's looking in the correct direction. It's too big. I'm actually, so I can kind of see what I'm doing, I'm going over to the Layers palette and I'm going to move the opacity down so I can sort of see through it. This is just temporary, and I'm going to scale this down so that the mask is about the right size, sort of the same size as her head. And I'm going to just, I'll do a click on the check mark. I'm going to zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to use my eraser tool, making sure I'm on that mask layer. And I am going to erase the part of, I want to make it so that it really looks like it's sort of popping out of this sort of head dress that she has on here. So I'm erasing the part of the Squid Game mask. I don't think I want any of that red there either. And remember, you can change the size of the bracket keys and zoom in so you can really get this well done. Get rid of the red carefully. Okay, so I've erased the part that I want. I'm going to go back over to the opacity and bring it up, so see how it looks. So it definitely looks like it's sort of in the right place, but do you see how bright it is? It still looks like it is not part of this painting. So I'm going to do a couple things to it. I'm going to lower the brightness and the contrast because it's just like there's too much of a pop there. Now this is something you might not have done before. We know about these adjustment layers, but what if I don't want to adjust the background and this, I just want to adjust the mask. So this is what you do. You hold down the Option key while you grab your brightness contrast or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And do you see it says use previous layer to create clipping mask? I'm going to click on that and click OK. And notice this little arrow appears. That means it is just doing the brightness and contrast to the layer underneath it. So now I can bring down the brightness contrast a lot. And do you see how already it really is looking much more integrated in that the white is much closer to that background. The next thing I want to do is it's still a little bit warm, and notice how cool that painting is. I'm going to do the same thing, hold down the Option key, go to color balance, use just the previous layer. Actually, I might have to bring it down so it's going right over that mask layer. And I'm going to make it a little bit more cyan. Do you see that difference there? Now it's much bluer. It really looks pretty good. But it still looks like a photograph instead of a painting. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on layer 2, which is that mask layer, the Squid Game mask part. I'll go to Filter, Filter Gallery. And I can't really see what's happening here, so I'm actually going to go click on the little arrow and we can bring it up here. And I think I had already put a brush strokes on it, but you can kind of decide, I don't know, do I want like a canvas texture? Maybe, maybe a little bit, and I'm going to bring it down a little bit so it's not so obvious, and then maybe a brush strokes, that, but again, it's a pretty smooth painting, so I'm going to sort of, you want to really make sure that it's subtle. Click OK. And then I think that actually is integrated pretty well. So have fun and ask questions if you run into trouble.